What happens after the learning event ends will impact transfer of training, and thus the effectiveness of the program. In this lecture, we're going to cover some of the post-training considerations we should make when designing the program. One of our concerns is the fidelity of the training environment, the degree to which it mimics the work environment. The physical fidelity of training is how similar the features of the training task are to those of the work task. Airplane simulators, for example, have high physical fidelity for pilots. Psychological fidelity refers to the similarity of the KSAOs that are required by the training task and those required by the work task. Role plays tend to have high psychological fidelity for customer service representatives. Once we've assessed the fidelity of a training situation, we determine whether each outcome attempts to develop open, closed, or both types of skills, and whether transfer is near, far, or both. Based on our assessment, we would then use some of the evidence-based strategies we learned about in the previous module to encourage transfer. I've talked a lot about the value of manager support, but peer support can be just as impactful. After all, employees spend more time with their coworkers than their supervisors. Transfer of training tends to be highest when trainees have a support network of at least one person, preferably someone who is a current or former trainee in the same program. They can talk about what they learned and how they've been applying it to their jobs. They can share advice and strategies for overcoming obstacles to learning, and they can connect one another to other valuable resources, like other trainees and mentors. Coworkers can also encourage one another to use the self-management techniques they were taught and to continue practicing newly learned capabilities. And finally, colleagues can be an important source of performance feedback, helping us improve even when the rest of the work environment is not supportive. Just as learners need opportunities to practice during training, they also need opportunities to perform after training. As you might expect, trainees who frequently perform newly learned capabilities on the job tend to learn more, transfer more, and have higher job performance. Managers can provide these opportunities, or trainees can find them for themselves. We want them to frequently perform as many skills as possible. Ideally, they even have opportunities to perform the most difficult or complex learning tasks. After training ends, send a quick survey to trainees about whether they perform the targeted skills from training, how often they perform these skills, and the perceived difficulty of these skills. If they indicate low levels of opportunity to perform, we may need to think about refresher courses, boosters, reassessing the relevance of training content, or enhancing the supportiveness of the learning culture. Whatever the cause, the HR department will probably play a role in addressing it and improving the results of the program.